Hello, my beautiful grief growers. Thank you so much for tuning into the show today. As you know, I'm taking a break from full-length podcasting right now and gearing up for Season 3 of Coming Back, which premieres on May 2nd, 2018. But in the meantime, I wanted to bring you some never-before-heard clips from Season 2's interviews. These are tidbits from my conversations with guests on the show that didn't make the final cut, but contain some wisdom, comfort, or laughter that I still wanted to share with you. This is the final week of In the Meantime, and I saved this clip with Caleb Wilde until this last In the Meantime episode. Not just because it's the longest clip I held on to, but because I really love the question I asked. Near the end of our interview time together, I asked Caleb how he would like to die. The question just came to me like a lightning bolt, and I got chills. And his answer, like so many of his answers during our long-form interview, just calmed me and humbled me and made me laugh too. So take a listen to this clip. I absolutely love this moment. I want to ask what might be a morbid question, but what also might be kind of a fun question for you. And I'm sure you've given a lot of thought to this already, as I know that I have, experiencing death and working with grief. And that is, how do you want to die? How do you want your death to go? How do you want to be remembered?
Yeah. And I've seen percentages where most people want to die quickly. A sudden heart attack, or my grandmother died of a brain aneurysm, so it was like a 10-minute thing. I don't. Because I've experienced people who are dying, and dying people are, for the most part, beautiful people, like the most beautiful. It's so weird. It's kind of like the tree in autumn. Right? I mean, you hit your most beautiful point when you're dying, because all of a sudden everything comes into focus, and we live for once in our lives like we're dying people, and we prioritize the things that should be prioritized, and we give the things that should be given, and we love the way that we should love because we realize that we're dying. So I kind of want that time. I hope that I have it. I don't want to die with a sudden heart attack in my sleep. I don't want the aneurysm that leaves me brain dead. I want to die slow, because I want to give myself away all the way to the end. And of course it's painful. Of course it's horrible. But I want that time. It's something that I want personally. And then when it happens, I've told my wife I want the home funeral with the green burial. One of my goals in life is to start a green cemetery. So if I do that, I'll be able to be buried in the cemetery I started. So hopefully the story plays out the way that I want it to. And if it doesn't, I don't know, they can dig a hole in the backyard or something.
I love that concept though too. Just dig a hole.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that fancy. I hope you enjoyed this In the Meantime episode of Coming Back. If you'd like to listen to my full conversation with Caleb Wilde, go back and listen to episode 35 of Coming Back, called Confessions of a Funeral Director with Caleb Wilde, and that's the title of his book as well. If Coming Back has changed how you see grief, loss, or death, please consider supporting me and the work that I do on Patreon. Now is a wonderful time to support the show because between now and April 30th, I am hosting a giveaway. Anyone who is already a patron on Patreon or pledges to become one before the last day of April 2018 is automatically entered to win 2 copies of the book I talk about all the time on this show, which is the Grief Recovery Handbook. In addition to 2 copies of the Grief Recovery Handbook, I will also be giving away a set of Coming Back podcast stickers and a handwritten thank you note expressing my thanks and love for your support of the show. You can find a link to my Patreon page where you can pledge and enter to win for as little as $1 per month. That's less than 33 cents per podcast episode in the show notes. Also this week, I would love if you join me for my monthly Google Hangout on Sunday, April 29th at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. This is my hour-long private space to answer your questions on grief and loss and provide a little exclusive time for the biggest supporters of the show. You can find a link to learn more about this event happening Sunday in the show notes. You can also check out episode 40 of Coming Back if you'd like to know more about the details of the Patreon giveaway and all the places I'll be between now and Season 3. That's all I've got for you for this episode of Coming Back. In the meantime, I absolutely cannot wait to return to you full-time next week on May 2nd. While I'm away from the mic, you can find updates on me, this podcast, and my travels on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and some extra behind-the-scenes stuff, as always, on Patreon. If you'd like to leave a question, comment, or guest suggestion for a future episode, i.e. Season 3, leave a voicemail or text 312-725 or email me at shelby@shelbyforsythia.com, subject line podcast. As always, my beautiful grief growers, it was beautiful sharing this space and time with you today. I see you, I am proud of you and the work that you're doing in the world, and I love you. Because even through grief, we are growing. See you soon!